Good morning everyone. I welcome you all in the class of next chapter of macroeconomics in class 12, that is government budget and the economy. The weightage of this chapter is 6 marks in CBSE board examination, and here you can see is our honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, and next to him is Miss Nirmala Sitharaman. She is our present finance minister. You can see here Miss Nirmala Sitharaman is presenting our budget 2020 in the parliament. The topics which we have to cover in this chapter are as follows: government budget meaning and objectives, components of government budget, classification of receipts, revenue receipts and capital receipts, classification of expenditure, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, measures of government deficit, revenue deficit, fiscal deficit and primary deficit and their meaning. In this video, I will be covering meaning and objectives of the government budget. Before beginning with the topic, I would like to show you the budget at a glance. This is the interim budget 2019-20. This was the interim budget because 2019 was a year of Lok Sabha election. And here you can see the main components of budget are receipts and expenditure. These are the estimated numbers of receipts and expenditure. Receipts are further categorized into revenue receipts and capital receipts. Expenditure are further categorized into revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. For 2019-20, the revenue receipt were estimated to be as 19,77,693 crore. Capital receipt for 2019-20 were estimated as 8,06,507 crore. Revenue expenditure were estimated to be in 2019-20 as 24,47,907 crore. Capital expenditure in 2019-20 were estimated to be as 3,36,293 crore. So these are the budget estimates of 2019-20. So let's begin with the meaning of budget. Budget is a annual statement. A government budget is an annual statement showing item-wise estimation of receipts and expenditure during a fiscal year. It is an annual statement which starts from 1st April to 31st March, and it is having the estimated amount. It is not the actual amount, this is the estimated amount of receipts and expenditure during one fiscal year. We can define government budget as a financial statement of planned receipts and planned expenditure of the government for the coming fiscal year. The government budget relates to the receipts and expenditure of the government for a particular financial year, and the impact of it will be there in the subsequent years. Now I will be telling you the objectives of government budget. First objective of government budget is reallocation of resources. The next objective of government budget is redistribution of income and wealth. The most important objective of government budget is economic stability or price stability. Economic growth is also the one of the objective of the government budget. Management of public sector enterprises is also one of the objective of government budget. We will be discussing all these objectives one by one. The first objective of government budget is reallocation of resources, that is transferring of resources from production of harmful goods to the production of beneficial goods for the public. The government makes a proper allocation of resources through its budgetary policy so as to make a balance between the goals of profit maximization and social welfare. Government can influence reallocation of resources in the country through its taxation policy or expenditure policy. Government imposes heavy taxes on production units engaged in producing harmful products like liquor, cigarette, tobacco to discourage those occupations which are not beneficial to the society. Government also provides subsidies and tax concession to the private sector industries to encourage the production of those products which are beneficial to the people. For example, government is providing subsidy for the production of khadi or electric car. Government can directly produce those goods and services which are in public interest in order to create social welfare. There are many non-profitable economic activities which are not undertaken by the private sector either due to lack of enough profits or due to huge investment expenditure involved. For example, water supply, sanitation, street lighting, maintaining law and order, and these are also known as public goods. Government provides these public goods in order to maximize the social welfare in the country. You can see here government has imposed 40% tax on colas to discourage consumption and protect health of the people. So we can say that government imposes tax on the production of harmful goods and government provides subsidies and tax concession to the goods which are beneficial for the people. For instance, government will provide subsidies for the production of khadi in our country and government will provide these facilities to the people like housing for all, basic facility of 24/7 power, clean drinking water facility, toilet and road connectivity, electrification of the remaining villages including off-grid solar power by 2020, providing medical services in each village, strengthen the rural economy. These are the goods and services which are not provided by the private sector. So government has to interfere and government will provide all these facilities to the people for having the maximum social welfare in our country. You must know the reason why public goods be provided by the government. There are two reasons why public goods are provided by the government. First reason is public goods are non-rivalrous. The benefits of public goods are not limited to one particular consumer as in the case of private goods, and public goods are available to all. For example, public park, public transportation, bus stand, these are available to all, and public goods do not lead to rivalry among people, and public goods are non-excludable also. There is no feasible way of excluding anyone from enjoying the benefits of the public good. Since non-paying users usually cannot be excluded, it becomes difficult to collect fees for the public goods, and this leads to the problem of free rider. Consumers will not voluntarily pay for what they can get for free and for which there is no exclusive title to the property being enjoyed. For example, public parks, nobody can exclude others to enter into public parks. So public park is a public good because it is non-excludable. Now the next objective of government budget is redistribution of income and wealth. Inequalities of income and wealth reflect a section of society being deprived of even basic necessities of life like food, clothing, and housing. There is a need of reducing gap between rich and poor. Through its taxation and expenditure policy, government attempts to bring about a distribution of income that is considered fair by the society. There is a huge gap between rich and poor people in our country, and government with its budgetary policy tries to reduce this gap between rich and poor. The redistribution objective is sought to be achieved through progressive income taxation, in which higher the income, higher is the tax rate. You can see here there is the income tax slab 2020-21. Income up to 5 lakh, the tax rate is nil, and from income 5 lakh to 7.5 lakh, the tax rate increased to 10%. From 7.5 lakh to 10 lakh, the tax rate is 15%. You can see here this is the progressive taxation. That means higher the income, higher the tax rate. Higher income group will pay the higher taxes and lower income group will pay the lower taxes. This will reduce the inequalities of income as the difference between personal disposable income of higher income and lower income group will fall. Personal disposable income is the income of person calculated after deducting the taxes, or you can say that it is the income of the consumer that is spent or saved by the consumer. Here you also can see this. This is the scheme introduced by the government in 2019-20 budget. This is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi. This is the scheme particularly for the farmers, direct income support of 6,000 per annum for farmers. Was effective from 1st December 2018, and this gave the benefit to 12 crore small and marginal farmer families having cultivable land up to 2 hectares. The first installment was paid up to 31st March 2019. Likewise, government provide free education facilities and health facilities to the poor people. Government provide essential items of food grains almost free to the families living below poverty line. And government also provides free LPG kitchen gas connections and subsidized LPG gas to the families living below the poverty line. So we can say that government is providing subsidies or incurring expenditure for the poor people. This will increase the disposable income of the poor people, and this will definitely reduce the income inequalities in our country. Economic stability is one of the important objective of government budget, and the other name of economic stability is price stability. Economic stability means absence of fluctuations in prices in the economy. Government can exercise control over price fluctuations through its taxation and expenditure policy. Too much fluctuations in prices is not good for the economy as they create uncertainties in the economy. Stability in price level in the country is necessary to create business environment, and government can exercise control over price fluctuations through its taxation and expenditure policy. Under inflationary situation, when aggregate demand exceeds the aggregate supply in the country, government may discourage spending by increasing taxes and reducing its own expenditure. This is the condition of high employment. So government will reduce its expenditure by spending less on poor people, and it will impose more and more taxes on the higher income group. Under deflationary situation, when aggregate demand is less than aggregate supply in the country, government can reduce taxes to encourage demand as well as increase its own expenditure. Government can also use subsidies to encourage spending by the people. And you can observe we are facing the deflationary situation in our economy, and government has introduced stimulus package, or we can say that government has increased its expenditure in the country, and government is also providing subsidies to the poor people. The next objective of government budget is economic growth. Economic growth implies a sustainable increase in real domestic product of an economy. It refers to an increase in volume of goods and services produced in an economy. Government budget can be an effective tool to ensure the economic growth in a country. And with the taxation policy, government can achieve the objective of economic growth. If the government provide tax rebates and other budgetary incentives for productive ventures and projects, it will stimulate savings and investment in the economy that leads to economic growth. For instance, suppose the government decides to give tax concession or tax rebates and subsidies to investors for making investments in backward region. Tax concession will lead to reduction of cost for the productive ventures. This will make profit for them, which in turn will increase the saving and investment of the productive ventures, which will lead to the economic growth. Through expenditure policy, government will spend on infrastructure in the economy, which will promote the production activities across the different sectors, thereby leading to economic growth in the country. Government expenditure is a major factor that generates demand for different types of goods and services, and which induces economic growth in the country. Management of public sector enterprises is also one of the objective of government budget. You can see these are the Maharatna public sector undertakings: Indian Oil, ONGC, GAIL, Coal India, NTPC, BHEL, Steel Authority India Limited. These all are the public sector undertaking, and government has the responsibility to manage all these public sector enterprises. There are large number of public sector enterprises and managed the social welfare of public. Budget is prepared with the objective of making various provisions for managing these enterprises and providing them financial assistance. This was all about meaning and objectives of government budget. Thank you.